Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, today I'd like to reflect on a recent visit I took to Jordan and Lebanon as part of a sponsored trip by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and supported by Save the Children Foundation, looking at refugee camps in the northern parts of Jordan and also on the western parts and throughout the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon. And the purpose of this trip in particular was to look at how Australia's aid money is being spent, whether it's being spent effectively for people who are seeking assistance following displacement of the Syrian crisis and the Syrian civil war. The trip that took place only a couple of weeks ago started when we went to Jordan and visited the different parts of the country and officials, talking directly about the challenges faced by those who are affected by the Syrian crisis and displaced as refugees who have located themselves in the northern parts of Jordan. Working with UNICEF and other organisations, Australian government aid money is going towards particularly supporting children who are out of schooling arrangements to make sure that they still have the best chance and best opportunity in life. I think every Australian would understand that amongst those who are the victims of the Syrian crisis, who have, through no fault of their own, been caught in the middle of the civil war and had to relocate to Jordan, that we're very cognizant of the importance that particularly the children need support and assistance to make sure they're in the best position to be able to go and live a full life. Not just obviously because it is in the interests of the children, but also because those who are uneducated or feel socially displaced or isolated are susceptible to radicalisation, being brought into conflict later on. We also visited the Zatari refugee camp, particularly 5 kilometres or thereabouts from the Syrian border, and spoke specifically to some of the community-based organisations and volunteers, as well as international organisations that are working with the people, again to support and assist young children in their education, but also in taking young adults on a journey towards legitimate work and pathways and skilling themselves up so that they're then in a position to be able to help rebuild the country of Syria when this conflict ends. In addition to that, looking at how Australian government aid money is being spent to support recycling programs, because when you have about 80,000 people in one place, you have a problem around waste disposal, but also around the opportunity of creating industries that can be supported, not just for the people in the camps, but also towards building skills capacity, but ultimately in producing products that can be made commercially available. Because having worked with refugees in different capacities, Deputy Speaker, one of the great challenges of people who have been detained for one reason or another is that they become de-skilled from their traditional professions and they become de-skilled from the habits of life. And one of the key things that our money is going towards is helping those people continue on their career pathways. And increasingly, the discussion is not just about the challenges in the refugee camps, but how you liberalise the arrangements so that people are in a better position to be able to go on and work and contribute to Jordanian society, but also to be in the best position when they relocate back to Syria to be in the best position to rebuild their nation. After visiting Jordan, we went to Lebanon, and particularly in Beirut, and met with officials who are working with people who are victims of domestic or family violence, which our aid government money is supporting as well, particularly women who are suffering from the injustices of abuse from family members. And there's important work that is being done there to make sure that they have safe havens, particularly when they become prey or victims of violence, whether it's by other people in like circumstances, their husbands, and where there is not the standard that we must always accept in our country, which is that everybody has equal dignity in their rights and that people have the opportunity to be free to live a life of violence. We also visited throughout the Bekaa Valley numerous community organisations who are being working with groups like Save the Children to continue to support the education of many young people who have come from Syria over to Lebanon and their parents are often working in temporary accommodation within farming communities so that they can continue to work, they can continue to live out their lives in safety until they're in the best position to return to Syria as well. I'd like to thank the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for their support for this visit. It was very instructive and very informative. There's a clear national interest for us being able to do something sensible to make sure that we're able to help people, as well as supporting the Save Children Foundation. Thank you.